Look, let us just be honest for a second. You are probably doom scrolling through your feed right now, watching 20-something influencers flashing rented Lamborghinis, telling you that you are a loser if you do not make $10,000 a month with some hidden AI side hustle, right? Oh shit, it is everywhere. But here is the deal. The game is rigged against you if you keep listening to that garbage, because while you are stressing about gas prices, grocery bills, and a job that treats you like an expandable spreadsheet row, your money is literally melting away in a standard savings account that pays you next to nothing. I get it, it feels completely hopeless. When rent takes up half your paycheck, and the stock market looks like a giant casino where the house always wins, but you need to wake up right now because nobody is coming to save you. The financial industry wants you to believe that investing is this deeply complex, mysterious art that only guys in custom suits on Wall Street can understand. But that is a massive lie designed to keep you paying fees while they get rich off your ignorance. I am not some high and mighty financial advisor with a fancy degree and a corporate agenda. I am just a guy who is exactly where you are standing right now, panicking in the middle of the night, staring at a bank balance that could barely cover next week. Groceries, let me tell you a quick story about how stupid I used to be, because when I first started trying to make money, I thought I was the smartest guy in the room, and I fell for every single trap out there. I remember taking my hard-earned $2,000, money I saved from working ridiculous hours, and throwing it all into high-risk options trading and literal penny stocks because some random guy on a forum told me it was going to the moon. Guess what happened? Within 48 hours. That money was completely gone, vaporized into thin air, and I was left sitting on my floor, eating cheap instant noodles, feeling like an absolute failure who would never get ahead in life. That brutal failure forced me to completely reevaluate everything I thought I knew about cash, wealth, and the system. And it took me years of discipline, trial, and error to finally crawl my way out of that hole and build a real reliable portfolio of $120,000. And today, I want to share the exact principles that took me from having absolutely nothing to building actual life-changing wealth. Because my ultimate mission is to help this generation lock in their first $100,000 without making the same idiotic mistakes I did. The very first thing you need to understand is a concept I call building capacity, which simply means preparing yourself financially, mentally, and physically before the massive opportunity even presents itself to you. Think about it this way: if an incredible investment opportunity or a life-changing business deal landed in your lap tomorrow morning, but you had $0 saved up because you spent it all on nights out and trendy clothes, could you actually capitalize on it? Absolutely not. Opportunities present themselves to everyone eventually, but only the people who have cultivated the capacity, meaning the cash reserves, the sharpened skills, and the mental clarity, can actually step up to the plate and smash it out of the park. There was a fascinating study done at Princeton University where they took a group of seminary students, people who literally dedicated their lives to being good, moral individuals, and asked them to walk across campus to deliver a presentation on the story of the Good Samaritan. Along their path, the researchers placed an actor who was collapsed in a doorway, visibly groaning, coughing, and clearly needing immediate medical help. The researchers split the students into groups based on time. Some were told they were running 10 minutes late, some were exactly on time, and some were 10 minutes early. Do you know what factor determined whether these highly moral students stopped to help a dying man? It had absolutely nothing to do with their personal values, their religious beliefs, or how good of a person they claimed to be. The only thing that mattered was how much time capacity they had, because the students who were 10 minutes early stopped to help at a rate 6 times higher than the students who were running late. When you are constantly living paycheck to paycheck, running late on your bills, and stressing over every single dollar, you are living in a state of chronic urgency, which means your brain literally lacks the capacity to see the wealth, building opportunities right in front of your face. So how do we practically start building that financial capacity today? We start with the most basic, boring, yet utterly revolutionary habit: living below your means, or what I like to call extreme financial minimalism. Let us get incredibly tactical about your daily expenses, starting with food. Because if you are currently making less than $50,000 a year and you are ordering food delivery apps multiple times a week, you are actively choosing to stay broke. Buy your groceries from discount supermarkets, learn how to cook basic meals in bulk, and view food as fuel for your body rather than an expensive social event every single night. When it comes to clothing, look at your closet right now. Whatever shoes, shirts, and jeans you currently own are more than enough to get you through the next 2 years. Zero exceptions. Stop buying fast fashion to impress people you do not even like on social media, because your clothes do not define your net worth. Your assets do. Housing is usually the biggest wealth killer for young people, so if you have to live with 3 roommates in a cramped apartment or stay in your childhood bedroom with your parents for an extra year to keep your rent near zero, just do it. During the earliest phase of my journey, I was splitting a tiny bedroom with a friend, paying less than $400 a month just to keep the lights on, while everyone else my age was getting single apartments and signing away their financial freedom for a pretty view. You also need to treat your time outside of your regular day job like a highly valuable financial asset. So stop doom scrolling on short form videos for 4 hours every evening, your 5 to 9 before your job. And your 5 to 9 after your job, those 8 hours are the golden window where you build your future empire while the rest of the world is sleeping or watching television. The next step in building capacity is aggressively adding high-value skills to your personal toolkit and practicing them until you are undeniably good at what you do. Every single extra dollar you save from cutting down your living expenses should not go into a speculative asset. It should be reinvested directly into your own brain to increase your earning power. You are your own highest cash-producing asset, and the beautiful thing about acquiring specialized skills like sales, copywriting, data analysis, or digital marketing is that skills are completely inflation-proof. Even if the global economy crashes or we start trading in alternative currencies in the future, if you possess a rare and valuable skill that solves a painful problem for a business owner, people will gladly pay you for it. Think about skills like building blocks that stack on top of each other, and look at a guy like Jay-Z who started out with just a natural sense of rhythm, which by itself is not incredibly valuable. Then he learned how to write compelling lyrics, then he learned how to perform, then he mastered the art of personal sales, and eventually he learned marketing and how to run a record label. Each individual skill he added did not just replace the old one, it multiplied the value of all his previous skills combined, transforming him from a local artist into a billionaire business mogul. The exact same logic applies to the financial world, because if you are just good at basic arithmetic, you might get a low-paying job entering numbers into a spreadsheet, but if you stack bookkeeping on top of that math, and then you learn complex accounting, and then you master corporate tax law, you suddenly become a highly paid advisor who can save a corporation millions of dollars a year. Never view any phase of your learning journey as a waste of time, because even if you are currently stuck in a low-level job, you are gathering data, learning how systems work, and practicing the discipline required for the next level. Now, let us talk about where to actually put your money once you have built up your savings, because this is where the mainstream financial advice completely fails you. Most people will tell you to open up a brokerage account and start day trading individual tech stocks or buying whatever volatile asset is trending on the news today, which is a one-way ticket to losing everything. When you have a smaller portfolio, say under $100,000, your goal should not be to find the needle in the haystack. Your goal is to buy the entire haystack through low-cost index funds. I keep my wealth generation strategy incredibly simple, utilizing a 3-bucket system that focuses on long-term compound growth, dividend reinvestment, and aggressive equity exposure. The core foundation of my investment strategy, roughly 70% of the entire portfolio, goes directly into VAO, which is the Vanguard SP 500 ETF. When you buy a single share of VAO, you are instantly becoming a fractional owner of the 500 largest, most profitable publicly traded companies in the United States, including giants like Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, and Nvidia. You do not have to worry about whether an individual company is going to perform well this quarter, because the index automatically filters out the losers and rewards the winners over time. Historically, the SP 500 has returned an average of roughly 10% per year over long periods, meaning if you just consistently buy and hold, your money will double approximately every 7 years without you lifting a finger. The second bucket of my portfolio, around 20%, is allocated toward SHD, which is the Schwab US Dividend Equity ETF. SHD focuses specifically on high-quality, stable companies that have a long history of consistently paying and increasing their dividends year after year. Think of companies like Coca-Cola, Pepsi, or Home Depot, businesses that are deeply embedded in the economy and generate massive amounts of free cash flow regardless of whether the stock market is up or down. The magic of SHD is that it provides a steady stream of passive income through dividends, which I automatically set to reinvest back into the fund to buy even more shares. Creating an exponential compounding machine, the final 10% of my portfolio goes into VUG, which is the Vanguard Growth ETF, a fund that focuses heavily on high-growth companies with massive upside potential, particularly in the technology sector. This smaller allocation gives my portfolio a little bit of extra fuel to outperform the broader market during bull runs. Without exposing my entire life savings to excessive volatility, this specific combination, 70% VU, 20% SHD, and 10% VUG, is what allowed me to steadily scale my net worth to $120,000 while maintaining total peace of mind. I do not check the stock market charts every 5 minutes. I do not care about daily market fluctuations. And I certainly do not panic when the news anchors start screaming about an imminent economic collapse. In fact, you need to completely reprogram your brain to view market downturns, not as a disaster, but as a massive store-wide clearance sale where your favorite high-quality assets are suddenly 30% off. When the average retail investor gets terrified and starts selling their shares at a loss, that is exactly when you need to be greedy, doubling down on your automatic monthly contributions and buying up the market at a discount. Wealth is not built by timing the market perfectly. Wealth is built by your time in the market. combined with the sheer consistency of your dollar cost averaging habit. If you can commit to automating your investments, putting away a set percentage of every single paycheck into these index funds before you even have a chance to spend it, you are guaranteed to win over the long run. Another powerful way to build capacity before you even have a specific product or business idea is to start building an audience based on your authentic journey. You do not need to be a certified expert with 20 years of experience to share content online. You just need to document the real messy process of your own personal growth. People are utterly exhausted by fake gurus pretending to have everything figured out. They want to follow someone who is actively in the trenches, showing their real numbers, their real failures, and their real victories. If you do not have epic proof of wealth yet, then show epic effort by documenting the volume of work you are putting in every single day, whether that is reading books, learning to code, or tracking your savings rate. When you build a community of people who know, like, and trust you based on your transparency, you are creating an immense amount of potential energy that can be leveraged into a successful business later down the line. You can even build a wait list of individuals who are interested in a specific solution before you ever spend a single dollar building the actual product, ensuring you have immediate market demand. Finally, you must aggressively expand your luck surface area by putting yourself in environments where high-performing, ambitious people actually gather. If you spend all your free time sitting on your couch watching streaming services, your probability of encountering a life-changing connection or an incredible opportunity is mathematically zero. But if you consistently go to industry meetups, working spaces, high-end coffee shops, or even local fitness clubs, you are naturally exposing yourself to serendipitous encounters that can alter the trajectory of your life. Be willing to move to where the capital and the action are located. Because proximity to power and opportunity is one of the greatest career shortcuts that nobody talks about openly. If you want to dominate in the tech space, you need to find a way to get to a major tech hub. If you want to crush it in media, you need to be where the major creators and agencies operate. Stop waiting around for the perfect pitch to suddenly appear before you decide to start preparing, because by the time the opportunity arrives, the people who are already practicing their swing in the dark will lap you instantly. Get your finances in order, slash your unnecessary expenses, pick your simple index fund portfolio, stack your high-value skills, and stay entirely focused on the long game. If you found value in this conversation tonight, do me a massive favor and hit that subscribe button. Turn on the notifications and share this video with one friend who needs a serious wake-up call about their money. Let us keep building capacity, let us keep stacking those wins, and I will see you in the next one.